All right, so I got this dust shield painted. Looks pretty good. I got the front diff mount all cleaned up. That stuff, I might go over it with the actual wire wheel and the grinder. Oh, missed a little spot there, but got this all painted. Done doing the first part of my wiring. This is the headlight harness. This is the low beam. You can see it's just taped to it. I've got the high beam mod done, but this isn't very clean. So I'm gonna buy a new connector or repin this one and do this a little better. So that's why it's just taped here so I don't lose the plug and mess with it later. And this is the little light. And this is one of the turn signals. And I think this right here, see how there's a wire sticking out? This is for, since this is an LT truck, it's got fog lights. This is a wire. You ground this out and it'll be high beam mod with low beam and high beam and fog lights. It's still dirty, but what I did is, as you can tell, all the new tape, all of it's coming off and cracking. I went through this one. This one actually, missed a spot there. But this one, none of the wire loom is cracked, so there's no point in replacing all of it. But on the main harness, I'm gonna have to replace the wire loom because it's been in and out so many times swapping motors. But I figured I'd just show this. Not very exciting, and not very exciting for me to do, but it's gotta be done. I've got the stove going. It's 21 here right now. This morning it was 14. So you bet I wasn't out here working on it. I stayed out here pretty late. Talked to the guy I'm gonna have tune this truck, a startup tune on it. All I gotta do is tell him I can and stuff like that. All right, so skip forward a little bit. The front diff out now, but this front diff, man, is nasty. This up here is the good side. It's bad, but we're gonna get that sucker cleaned up real nice. I have cleaned up the steering box. Got it looking pretty good. I mean, it looks like a brand new one. This pitman arm's got to get replaced, so that's why it's not cleaned up. This is way better than what I have. I had to cut a spot for my stuff, and these panels aren't all faded. I'm getting the dash vents out of it, the pillar pieces. The headliner in it is pretty good, except for right there. These doors are going on my truck eventually. They're gonna be painted, obviously. This is not Bondo, this is clear coat peeling. They'll be painted before I put them on. Got a bunch of good stuff on it. Got a overflow tank hanging down there, a whole engine harness. It's two-wheel drive, so it's got a rack and pinion. All the front end stuff. Tailgate, it's scratched up, but it's straight, so I'm gonna be putting that on my truck. Mine has the same amount of scratches, but it's bent. So here's our harness here. You can see where I cut it. I cut it way far back on that other truck. You can see where it grounds to the body and then grounds to the hood right here. And there's a little piece of plastic in here that keeps it straight, which I'm gonna take it out, rewire loom this, and connect this right here to the truck. And also that's just a door plug that I cut out to keep just taped to it so I wouldn't. I've already showed the headlight harness, which I have another one out off the parts truck now. I just got done with this ABS wire right here. I guess that's not the prettiest down there, but you can tell that's old wire loom, which is nothing wrong with it. It's not brittle like the other stuff. And here's the ABS. I put tape every foot or so. So this one is done. 1/4-inch wire loom, which I'll wire loom this and the new deal. I'm glad that it didn't burn any further in the harness. I'm gonna pull this apart to check. All right, so right now, this is my hood light that goes right here, and then it grounds right here for the ground strap to the hood. Here's the plug. You can see I cut a good bit off of it, but the hood got slammed against the top post of the battery, And thankfully, I think all that happened, the ground strap, which is right here, the ground strap burned in half and fried these 2 wires, and every time I'd put the fuse back in, it'd pop it for the interior lights. But you can see, oh, my camera works not too good, but all the way up to here was burnt, and there was 2 bare spots on it. This wire and all of this is good, but off the parts truck we'll keep this just for this plug, because I'm sure there's another plug on the truck that's the same as this. So we'll keep this just as a spare for something. But you can see I got the fuel pump out. This is the factory fuel pump. I've already got the Walboro 450 wired up and it's in there. I figured out what was wrong with this one on why it wasn't reading right, and why I think now looking into that this has been replaced, because the float was hitting the side of the tank on that side. And most of the time, like, you know, if you're on a hill, you're gonna read more gas than you have. And this one was the opposite. If you're like this, like the nose down, you'd read more gas than you have. So I think someone put this together wrong, and it was hitting the tank. I mean, I didn't bend the rod, but I got it out. So now the float is right here, and this is the actual top. The only other thing is the case. It slides on 2 rods. I wasn't able to get it to go all the way to the bottom where it locked in. The only thing that's going to say is it's going to read we're out of gas a little bit more than. All right, so that's done. I might have put my tape a little too close. Since this is going to be opening on the hood, I just figured I should put it a little closer. It's a little tight in here, getting all that in and where the connectors are. Since I cut it so far back on that truck and I cut it so far out on this truck, I have a little too much here. So I got to put it on the ground for the motor, but that'll probably be fine.